just know the Avs are healthy and they're hot. So they're going back to back.
Yeah,
I know
like,
exactly.
dude, yeah,
I know exactly who you're talking about too.
See, he looked just like him, and I was talking so much trash, and they just looked over. I'm like, said that, but yeah, it was so funny. And in other basketball news.
What is up, Sportscast? Welcome to the Sports and Stuff show, the Kings of Comedy. I'm Carter.
And I'm Adam.
And let's get right into it.
Awesome. It's great to be back. We ended up not doing one on Wednesday, or recording on Wednesday, getting on Friday because I wasn't feeling that well. But we're back. Woo! Yeah, I know you guys missed us. Our Monday episode was kind of a rough week for Sports and Stuff because our Monday episode was kind of rough. For some reason, and I like how I said for some reason, but then I kind of know exactly why. Our audio for it was picking up from my computer and not from the mics because I forgot to plug in the mixer board into my computer. So,
is the camera charged today?
It's charged, and that also happened where the camera also died. So that was just it was a good time. And then we ended up not having an episode on Friday. So at least we're more organized this time. That was kind of rough, but oh well, we move. We learned from it. And then we got here, Taya face reveal coming up soon. We still need to coordinate a time with that. And we've been talking about this like for forever. She was supposed to come on last week, I think, but then she ended up not being, I think the week before that.
Yeah.
And then she wasn't able to come on, and then it was just kind of weird timing. So, we're trying to get that all scheduled out. And also, Carter put in here, Siga beat down of Pike C Wednesday night. So basically, we were, so as you know, we're in SIGEP. We ended up having the fraternity basketball league. I actually went to my very first game. And it was
the worst game we played.
Yeah, I know. It was like, okay, we were up by probably 10 points. I was into it. I kept on calling Carter C. Drizzy on the sideline.
Were you?
Yeah.
I didn't even hear you.
And then and every single time I was going crazy. Because Carter, I didn't realize this before we even started recording, but he's actually really good at basketball. He was like,
hooper.
What?
Bit of a hooper.
Yeah, typically you see a white guy, they're like, he's going to shoot, but it's like a 50-50 chance of going in. But with Carter, he actually makes it. So that's what's different.
Yeah. Me and Michael, baby. Dynamic duo.
Yeah, it's been crazy.
The only issue is my ankle's messed up right now.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
It's
hurts to walk, and I have 2 games in 3 days. So.
That's fun.
I'm gonna need to get a brace.
Gonna ice it. Get the Patrick Mahomes special. Patrick Mahomes special.
Nessie's our coach and brother. He said he might sit me Wednesday.
No,
that's what he said.
Nah,
that's what he said.
Nah,
we'll see what happens, but that's what he said.
Dude, give you whatever they would give Patrick Mahomes for his ankle, dog.
Yeah, seriously.
But yeah, it was. I was talking so much trash. They were even pissed because they realized that I was doing it. So once I went to shake their hands, they were like looking at me dirty, and they were like, it was so funny. But it was a fun time. I kept on going I was so obnoxious. It was bad.
Yeah, I didn't hear anything.
Really, dude. I
don't hear a
bad.
whole lot when I'm playing. I'm kind of.
Dude, I
tune everything out.
I compared one of the opposing players to Junior in VeggieTales. Do you know what I'm talking? Have you watched VeggieTales?
Yeah, I don't remember Junior.
He was like the little broccoli asparagus thing or something.
Yeah, I know exactly. Dude, I know exactly who you're talking about too.
See, he looked just like him, and I was talking so much trash. They knew, and they even heard it too when I said that because I said it a little bit too loud one time, and they just looked over. I'm like, said that, but yeah, it was so funny. And in other basketball news,
I competed in a 3-point contest, won the Greek division, so. On the night of the fraternity championship, I will be shooting at our college basketball arena, which is pretty sick.
Ooh.
I got us some Greek Cup points already, and if I win, I get us some more Greek Cup points. So SIGEP gonna pass some people in Greek Cup this semester. Just watch.
Man.
It's gonna be hilarious.
Dude, okay.
Our first semester of doing intramurals, and we're gonna pass people. Just watch.
They keep on screwing us over with their stupid intramural posts. Because of stupid intramural posts, they keep on putting us at the very dead bottom.
Yeah.
And their excuse is, oh, well, you guys didn't have any points. And at first we weren't even competing. But the other teams weren't competing either.
Yeah.
And it's like to the point where now, even when we do have points, they still put us at the bottom and we're like, oh, it's just a little
I
delayed.
think they'll probably update it after
It's
the season.
stupid. It's so dumb.
But
They're just trying to they're out to get us, but it's dumb. But
they're not out to get us.
yes, they are. They're out to get us, but okay, whatever. And since it's a sports episode, you know what that means.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Ice hockey.
No, you got baseball. You go first.
Give me one.
Okay. Oh, that one's way too easy. Which pitcher accidentally killed an unfortunate bird with a 95-mile-per-hour fastball in a 2001 game?
Randy Johnson.
Yep. The other one was where did the Dodgers go after moving, or where were the Dodgers at before moving to Los Angeles?
Oh, Brooklyn.
And I'm like, dude.
Yeah. Those are both. Hey, I'll take my 1 point. 1, 2, or 3 for hockey.
One.
Okay. These are both pretty easy, but what country did the U.S. team beat to win the gold medal after the Miracle on Ice in 1980? Sweden, Finland, Canada, Iceland.
Canada.
It was Finland.
Oh, I don't even know.
Finland.
Yeah. Wow.
1-0.
1-0.
Decent start. All right.
All right.
On to Boise State. We have 2 games left in basketball season, which is crazy to think about. We are 22-7 at the moment, 12-4 in the conference. Dropped an overtime game at San Jose State, which is not great.
Yeah.
Blew a late lead in that one to go to overtime. Couldn't do anything in overtime. That pretty much took away any hope of winning the Mountain West title, at least for the regular season, which, isn't the biggest deal in the world, but still sucks.
Yeah.
Hosting San Diego State Tuesday night, which is by far the biggest game of the year. San Diego State just won off a crazy buzzer beater over New Mexico in their last game, and it's our last home game, so it's going to be packed, and yeah, it should be a good game. I'm not going. I kind of wish I was, but
Man.
got a concert. Anyway, and then after that, we'll be at Utah State on Saturday to end the season, and that'll be it. It'll be into conference tournament time.
Mm-hmm.
We're currently a 9 seed in the latest bracketology, but that'll update tomorrow. Should be about the same. As of right now, we would be slated to play Kentucky.
I know, I saw that. I'm like, oh, well, that's great.
And I think it's in Ohio, which would be close to a home game for Kentucky. So not hoping for that, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I saw that. Weren't we a 9 seed last year too?
We were the 8.
8. Oh.
Yeah. Should have
Wow.
been like a 6, but
Yeah, that was kind of stupid.
whatever.
Yeah, and then we had Memphis, who shouldn't have been.
Memphis was way better than a 9.
Yeah.
They just were injured half the year.
Yeah, I don't really
They almost
get
beat
that.
Gonzaga.
Yeah,
It was close.
I didn't really understand that matchup, but yeah, Kentucky's not going to be any better, so we're gonna have to see about that.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so I think, San Diego State. It's kind of hard to say that we're gonna beat San Diego State after they whooped us last time,
Yeah.
and then we just dropped one to San Jose State. So I don't know, but
It should be a good game. I mean, I don't know. It is hard to say that we would win after what they did to us last time, but that doesn't always carry over. And I think that part of the reason they dropped the last game is they were looking ahead to this one, which isn't good, but it's probably what was happening. So just hoping for a good game there, and then it's on to conference tournament time, which is one of the best times of the year.
Yep.
So,
yeah, and also another interesting Boise State story. It's kind of, according to JL Skinner, it's not that much of a story, but yeah, apparently he hurt his pec or something again. I think he hurt it earlier in the season, and he hurt it again. But he's saying it's not a big deal. He's still one of the best safeties in the country. It's just a small setback, but I don't know if that's going to hurt his draft as much. I think he did a really great job at the Reese's Senior Bowl, so I think that's still going to help quite a bit.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Maybe. We talked about he was like I think it was like a 3rd to 5th round projected player.
Something like that, yeah. That
But
sounds right.
we also talked about how basically at that point, after the 2nd round, it's like crazy. It's just like wild. You don't even know who's going to get picked.
Even in the 2nd round.
Yeah.
It gets wild. But hopefully that's not a serious thing. And do you know, is he going to the combine?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So that'll tell us kind of where he's at, or at least give us a better idea. But
oh well. On to NBA. Dude.
Baseball.
Football.
Okay.
I'll go 2.
Oh, those are both okay. What MLB team debuted their rainbow uniform in 1975? Mariners, Giants, Angels, or Astros?
Is it the Astros?
Yeah.
Dang it.
Okay.
Football.
We'll go 3.
3. All right. Which team defeated the Giants on a fumble recovery in the final seconds of the Miracle in the Meadowlands?
Eagles.
Yep. I didn't read the full question before I asked it, and I was like, you know what? Oh well. But the
Probably
other one was way
wouldn't known it
harder.
either way. That's the
That's
play.
like the iconic
That's the reason people kneel.
kneel.
Now.
Yeah. But
okay,
oh, that sucks.
4-2.
Yep.
On to the NBA, and I'm excited for this one.
Mhm.
Damian Lillard dropped 71 points last night. 71 on 37 shots. He made 13 three-pointers, which is tied for the 2nd most of all time to Klay Thompson, of course. Damian Lillard now owns the most efficient 60-point game ever and the most efficient 70-point game ever. He is a freak, one of the best offensive players ever. I don't care. He is now 6th in 50-point games all time with 15, and 3rd in 60-point games all time with 5. He trails only Wilt and Kobe. It's either Kobe or Harden. Pretty sure it's Kobe. But yeah, he's 3rd there. He also moves into 2nd place all time on most games with 9 or more three-pointers. He has 13, which is 2nd most to Steph, who I think has like 38. But Steph is a freak. And then after the game, he was immediately drug tested. They drew his blood right after the game, which he said kind of ruined his night because he's afraid of needles, which is a little funny considering he's like head to toe in tattoos. But
I know, right?
I understand that. Honestly, a blood draw needle is scarier than a tattoo needle. I don't know why. But yeah, Damian Lillard, I don't know. He's been my favorite player for who knows how long, at least on my favorite team. And as a Portland fan, I don't want him to leave. As a Damian Lillard fan, it feels like he kind of wasted his career a little bit. He's 32 now. The farthest he's ever got is the Western Conference Finals where he got swept. It's just not his fault. He's been surrounded by not good teams. He really hasn't. Like the 2nd best player on his best team ever was CJ McCollum, who's a good player, very good player. He's not a number 2 on a championship team. He's just not. So, yeah.
Funny story about Damian Lillard. On Saturday, I lended 2 jerseys to 2 people, and one of them was my Damian Lillard jersey. And I told them, I'm like, I'm not even gonna lie, I've only worn this like once or twice, and they were like, oh, I want it for the menace mentality because it's like Portland and everything. And then he dropped 71 the next day. And I'm like, oh, well, that's convenient.
You need to lend that jersey out more often.
I know. I was like, what are the odds that? And the funny thing is that the person that got that jersey probably is not even aware that he even dropped 71 points. So like,
he had 41 in the first half.
That was ridiculous.
Which is wild.
That was crazy.
And then in the 3rd quarter, they started doubling and picking him up early, and he only had 9 points, so he ended the 3rd with 50. I'm like, all right, like maybe he can get to 60, maybe. Then he drops 21 in the 4th quarter, and there was a point in the first half where I think it was Cam Reddish got the rebound, bounces it back to Lillard. He pulls up like a dribble inside half court, feet on the logo, and just drills. It was contested.
Is that
It
the
was-
one where he did a weird he landed so awkwardly?
It
like-
might have been. I don't know, but yeah,
Yeah, it was crazy.
he does things in a lot of games that I don't think any other player can do. Steph Curry is a better shooter than him. Don't get me wrong, but I think there are shots Lillard makes that Steph can't make, and vice versa. But
Mhm.
I think that he's solidified as the second greatest shooter of all time. Personally, I think a lot of people would have him in the top 5.
I don't
with
think
Clay, Ray Allen.
Yeah, I don't think he gets much recognition because he doesn't have the rings. And he even he went on an interview a while ago, and he was like, "People don't want to give me recognition because I don't have the rings." And he's like,
Yeah.
"Please, they're praying that I don't get a ring because once he gets a ring, then it's over."
I don't know if he will, but if
Yeah.
he does, if Damian Lillard wins a ring in Portland, it'll be one of the best individual accomplishments ever. I
Mhm.
mean, for the love, like, he is 32 years old. He is playing better this year than he's ever played his entire career. And what did the Blazers do at the deadline?
Nothing.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Just punted. We have a pathetic GM, a horrible owner. Ooh, it's hard being a Blazer.
And he's done so much, and like it's kind of just
people
like nothing.
clown on him for not winning awards other than like Rookie of the Year, and it's just not his fault. Like, he's been All NBA a bunch of times. He's been an All Star. He has a decent shot at the scoring title this year. Maybe.
Remember when they used to compare him to Westbrook? Dude, I don't think that's fair.
Peak for peak. Like, if we're just taking one season from each, Westbrook had the best season for sure.
Mhm.
Overall, I'm taking Lillard, but Westbrook had that MVP year. Like, he was unreal. And the Dame and Kyrie arguments have always really pissed me off because Kyrie's just not as good as Dame. He never has been. He never will be. Well, maybe when Dame's like 40, but yeah. So, on to some other teams. The Western Conference playoff race is wild. A couple headlines are the Lakers made a bunch of moves at the deadline, and they haven't lost since the deadline. I think it's only 2 games, but that doesn't change what I said. They look pretty good, especially Jared Vanderbilt. He was a big acquisition for them, and he's stepping up. And then the Mavericks, their big acquisition it hasn't started off too hot. Kyrie and Luka are 1-3 together when they play. They just dropped a game to, I want to say, the Clippers. Could be wrong. But yeah, they're 1-3 as a duo. I have to assume they'll pick it up at some point, but you never know. And in the Western Conference, the 4th seed, which is, as of right now, Phoenix, and the 13th seed are 4 games apart. 4 games. So that's insane to think about. Like, what the Western Conference looks like now is nothing like what it'll look like at the end of the year, other than the top. Probably the top 2. The Nuggets and Grizzlies are probably going to coast to the top 2. But yeah, over on East, main headline, I think, is the Bucks and Celtics are a half game apart for the 1 seed. Those 2 in Denver have pretty clearly the best records in the league, and they are neck and neck right now. It's pretty awesome to watch, and it could be the 2 MVP frontrunners, Giannis and Tatum.
Yeah.
Who knows? But
yeah, it's been heating up quite a bit. Who do you think is going to be the number 1 seed when it's all said and done?
I have to assume the Celtics. I think they've been the best team in the league this year. Tatum is on a mission this year. Like, he's playing out of his mind, and even when he has a down game, like we saw the other night, his team can step up, and they did that. We should talk about the ending of that game too. It was Celtics-Sixers tie game. Tatum gets the ball, step back between the legs, it hits the 3 with like a second and a half left. Embiid gets the ball, takes a dribble, heaves it from like 3/4 court, drills it, but it was after the buzzer. Awful. And then the next day, Paul George did the same thing. He hit a shot from behind half court at a tie game. It was after the buzzer, so it didn't count.
Man, that's so crazy.
I don't know if I've ever seen it happen like that, and it happened twice in 2 days. The NBA this year is on fire. It's amazing.
That reminds me, when we, during like the intramural league, they tried to do like a buzzer beater at the end. They almost actually made it.
It was
good. It was a little close. I'm
it
like,
was
oh no.
It was a little closer than I would have been comfortable with.
Yeah. I'm like, oh no.
Yeah.
And that was so funny though. But oh well.
I think that's all I got for NBA.
Yeah.
We talked about the MVP race last week, so we can take a couple weeks off while players start to try to separate themselves. I don't know. It's really close right now. Damian Lillard's in the conversation now. I don't care what anybody says. But yeah, we'll pull another
Will
card.
he win? Probably not. But
No.
I mean, well,
Almost certainly not, because they'll be like the 9 or 10 seed.
oh well.
You know, he can only control so much.
Yep. You're gonna pick
I'll be nice. I'll be nice. I'll give you football.
ice hockey. It's 4-2.
Yeah, give me one.
You won. Okay. How many face-off spots are on a standard hockey rink? 1, 5, 4, or 9?
5.
9.
What?
I didn't know that, but apparently
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I don't know. That's what it says on the card. I'm not a hockey
What?
whiz. 4-2. Woo!
Okay.
Give me 3 for the win.
That.
Not even for the win, for the lead.
What year did the NFL adopt instant replay? 83, 89, 86, or 92?
92.
86.
Damn it! I was gonna say 86 because
That-
92 seemed like a low hanging fruit.
That is a brutal question.
Oh man, that was rough. And you were like, "I'm gonna be nice."
Well, I was nice
I
with
know.
football, but all right. Speaking of, onto the NFL. A little bit of draft news lately. Anthony Richardson, my favorite prospect, as I've been very vocal about for like a year now. He was plus 10,000 to be the first overall pick a few weeks ago, which makes sense. You know, Bryce Young, Stroud are rated over him. Some guys have Levis over him. The Bears could stick and pick, and they don't need a quarterback, so they could take Javon Carter. He's moved to plus 750. To someone who doesn't understand odds, I didn't think you really understand how big of a jump that is. That means if you were to put $10, you were to bet $10 on Anthony Richardson to be the first overall pick a few weeks ago, you'd win $1,000 if he was the first pick. Now, you would win $75. Just an unbelievable difference. And in the past, when this has happened, that player is usually drafted first. This happened with Travon Walker last year. He went from like way down on the odds to he was like minus 250 on draft night. So
Well, it depends who holds the first round pick. In my opinion,
maybe, I don't know.
I don't think the Bears are taking.
Well, the Bears could take Carter or Anderson, or they could
Yeah,
trade.
but it's the first overall pick. Anthony Richardson for the first overall pick.
Right.
So
Right. So they could just stick and pick, and that would ruin any chance of that. But if they do trade down, it 100% will be for a team to take a quarterback. It's just a matter of which quarterback. And a guy who, by most people, is thinking will go first. By most people are thinking Bryce Young will go first. Jeez. And he is officially 5'10 and a half.
Yep.
So that's
how
very
tall is
short.
Kyler Murray?
I think Kyler's like 6 foot, isn't he?
I doubt Kyler Murray's 6 foot. I think he has to be around 5'10 and a half.
Either
Check
way,
here.
5'10 and a half, and won't throw at the combine. How much will that hurt him? I really don't know. Like
Yeah, Kyler Murray's 5'10.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know why I thought he was 6. Either way, so he's Kyler's height. Won't throw at the combine. We'll see what that does to him. I don't know. I don't know how much teams really care about the combine. I know teams probably care a little bit about his height and also his weight. His weight might even be a bigger issue. Like he's just not a big guy, which is okay. But
I mean,
I don't know. Guys can make it work. Okay, people have made it work in the past. It's just I don't know if we've ever seen a quarterback with his lack of height and lack of weight that I can think of, because Kyler's bigger than him. I would say.
Okay. My biggest gripe about it is you've seen him play. Like, I mean, he clearly makes it work with being 5'10 and a half and however odd and how much he weighs at Alabama. Like, he literally almost won it against Georgia last year. He even beat Georgia in last year. This year, it was kind of a rough year because Alabama wasn't as great of a team going up against certain players, and it was also kind of just an off year for Alabama. So I'm not putting that against him. Like, and also, like, Will Levis also had kind of an off year. CJ Stroud had an off year, except for the exception of the playoffs.
No, Stroud was nice.
By the end of the year, he picked it up. By the beginning of the year, he was kind of off.
Bryce himself didn't even have an off year. He had a great year. Yeah. The
Bama team had an off year.
Yeah, the thing with Levis and Richardson, if you just look at their stats or even a lot of their games, they don't look that great. It's about the tools they have. Anthony Richardson is 6'4", 6'5". He's like 230, I think, something like that. He's bigger, stronger, faster than Bryce, and that stuff matters to teams. It can. Mm-hmm. It's just a matter of how much, because Bryce Young is definitely a better thrower of the football right now. Yep. He definitely is. But the thought process with Richardson and Levis, I guess, is if he reaches his max potential, that max potential is higher than anybody else because of those physical attributes. But yeah, Bryce was excellent in college. I think he'll make it work in the NFL. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's super creative and elusive. I think he'll be good, but there's a chance he won't be. Who knows?
Okay, so first overall pick, who are you taking?
What team am I?
Let's go Colts.
Anthony Richardson.
Really?
Anthony Richardson. I think he's worth it.
Does it really matter? Does it change if I say Texans?
No.
No?
Still Richardson, but I don't want him to go to the Texans. I really don't. I think Richardson's best fit is New York, the Giants. I want to see that happen so bad, but I doubt it does. I would go Richardson. I'm obviously higher on him than almost anybody, but I just think I think he's worth the risk because his potential it's ridiculous. Like if he reaches his potential, he's an MVP. Like obviously there's a big chance he won't, but I think that he's worth it, especially with how young he is. I think he's worth taking a swing.
If I'm going to be honest, what I've seen from Anthony Richardson is a ton of mistakes, and I think he's really reckless with it, and that kind of makes me nervous. I mean, I'm not going to just credit his height and weight and his physical build, but I think that if I was the team that was needing a quarterback, I think I would rather go Stroud over Richardson. But I think it's a closer argument between Stroud and Young because I really like Stroud. Bryce Young, obviously, he's really great, especially on Alabama. But that's what's difficult. I think it would be more for me personally, between Young and Stroud. I'm still
that's
kind
definitely
of
where most people are at.
I'm still kind of deciding between those two, but I don't know because I really liked Justin Fields last year, or not last year, the year before when he did it because of his great performance in the playoffs, and Stroud lit it up in the playoffs, and I think Stroud is a better quarterback than Justin Fields in my opinion.
Ooh, that's close. I really don't know.
I think he's better. I just think he chooses not to run as much as Justin Fields, but I think he's a way better passer in my opinion. So, I think it's definitely between Stroud and Young. I think Stroud's a way better passer than Fields. But the thing is though is that for quarterbacks, I feel like people still don't understand how to draft quarterbacks properly because I think it comes more down to an IQ thing than it does anything else. I think it comes down more to I think it's more intangibles as in high motor, you have a want to be great and you have to want it.
I feel like the majority of players do.
I think how I see it is people lose motivation because, I mean, obviously they want it, but they have to work so much harder in the NFL, and I don't think they realize that. And I don't think that some players they see the money up front, and they go like, okay, like Jamarcus Russell, for example.
I think he's a rare example, though.
I think, you see Zach Wilson. He was a really highly talented player, and then
is that an effort issue? I think he just might not be very good.
I think it's an effort. Well, I think in that case, he was trying to force it way too much, and he's not really into understanding the playbook. He looks lost out there. Like, I think it's basically just an issue of him not wanting it as much.
I think it's a talent thing.
I think
like the teams he played against at BYU, he could get away with things that he can't in the NFL. And he tried to, but it didn't work. And so now now he doesn't know what to do because the things that got him here don't work anymore. So he's in a pretty bad spot.
If he really wanted it, then he'd find a way out.
And I'm sure he's trying.
Like Trevor Lawrence, he had a rough better player. He had a rough season, his first season, but then he actually was like, motivated to get better, and he also did get a better coach, which also helps. But it's to the point where it's like he was working hard, and you could tell he was working hard to get to that point. Like he threw 4 picks against the Chargers, and he ended up coming back because he was working that hard to get it. Like,
the difference there, at least in my eyes, is Lawrence didn't have to change his play style, whereas I think Zach Wilson has. I think Zach Wilson is kind of back to square one. Because like I said, the things that were flying in college don't for him. Lawrence was just adjusting, and I don't think that he has to kind of reinvent himself like Wilson does. So I think it is a talent and a play style thing for Zach Wilson.
Well, I think talent and play style is kind of it's a good thing to have, but you also need that combination of a need to do it. Like Tom Brady, he wasn't a great prospect coming out, but he had
that's why he went
a need. Yeah, he had a need to get to that point, and I think that's a recurring thing that we've seen. That's why I predicted Justin Fields would be really good, because I thought that he seemed like he had that willingness to be the best.
Well, we'll see what happens next year. He has a lot of steps to take.
Yeah, obviously there's flaws to that too, because Josh Rosen was super confident, and he was really he came off with a mentality, and he sucked. So
that's what I'm saying though, is I think the majority of players are confident and work really hard. Sometimes it just doesn't work out. There are obviously examples like Jamarcus Russell of guys who maybe don't work as hard, but
I think that's what I kind of feel like is the biggest thing. I'm trying to remember, didn't someone have a horrible IQ last year or the year before that or something?
Mac.
Was it Mac Jones?
I think it was Mac who scored really low.
I'm trying to
I could be wrong. Tua also.
Oh yeah, it was Tua.
Wait, no. Tua
scored really bad.
He
scored a 3 or 2.
I can't remember if he had the highest or the lowest.
No, Tua had the lowest.
Okay, yeah.
He had he was bad, and that's what I was thinking. I was like,
Tua was kind of balling this year before he died on the field. So
yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like there's
the
something
NFL
missing with quarterbacks.
It's not an exact science. Some guys have great IQ, and some of them will be good, some won't. Some have great attributes, some will be good, some won't. NFL's weird. It doesn't always make sense.
And I think I don't know. I think it's really weird that Richardson came up, but it's also not, because there's always a quarterback that comes out of nowhere. When it was the draft with Baker Mayfield and Darnold, Josh Allen came out of nowhere. A
little bit, yeah.
And then it was Lance, and then it was Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson came out of nowhere.
He did rise a lot.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of other quarterbacks in recent years that did it. Mitch Trubisky out of nowhere also. He came out of
he was a 1-year starter.
That was weird too, because they had Deshaun Watson, who just absolutely lit up the league and went third.
No,
he went third.
No, he didn't.
No, he was the third quarterback.
Oh yeah,
yeah, literally, dude.
One of the ones ahead of him was the right choice.
Yeah, that's true. But if you're in that draft, I think if you didn't have a crystal ball, you should have taken Deshaun Watson as the first quarterback.
I agree with that.
I
do. Yeah, I I think he was the best coming out.
Mm-hmm.
But Mahomes is now, the most
Yeah.
talented player we've ever seen. So who knows?
So, I mean, I kind of get that, but it's also like, this is crazy with Anthony Richardson.
I get
Especially
it,
because
though.
of the Will Levis hype, because everyone thought it was going to be Will Levis to make this jump, but then
Will
all of a sudden
Levis-
it's Anthony Richardson.
I don't understand the Will. I don't think Will Levis is as bad as a lot of people make him out to be. He was in a horrible situation this year. He made some great plays. He has good attributes. Here's the thing. He is multiple years older than Anthony Richardson. Does not have the arm Anthony Richardson has. He's not as big, strong, fast as Anthony Richardson is. He is all those things, just not as much as Anthony Richardson. He's a worse version of him. I don't. If you like Levis, you have to like Richardson. Like it just doesn't make any sense not to. In my
If I'm going to be honest, I don't like either.
right,
think,
and that makes sense. I feel like if you like Levis, you gotta like both. If you don't like Richardson, you sure shouldn't like Levis. So
yeah. For me, I think it's top two as Stroud and Young. I think those are if you don't get either of those two, you go next year for Drake May or Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
So
yeah, in 5 years, I'm either gonna look really smart or really dumb for all the stuff
Anthony
I'm doing
Richardson
for
hype.
Anthony Richardson. Yeah, it's gonna go one of two ways. That I don't see any way.
yeah, I'm going with the more mainstream type of pick, but oh well, who knows? But these also like we're predicting with nothing. Like these NFL execs have like years.
Hey, I watched the games,
have,
man. I've watched every game Anthony
but they
Richardson
also
ever
have like
played multiple
insider
times.
in like
Yeah,
play,
for
of,
sure,
like,
for sure.
So
they absolutely
if they whiff, they have a way worse.
they absolutely know more than we do.
Yeah,
But I've
If we know
done
less
I've
and
done
do better.
enough, especially on Anthony Richardson, to feel confident in what I'm saying. I may not be right, but I'm confident in it. So yeah. I mean, when you get to like linemen and stuff like that, I haven't watched as
Stroud
much.
has had amazing throws this whole year that look like Aaron Rodgers-esque. And
Who has Stroud?
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 Or no,
is-
not Stroud. Young.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
Young,
Rose.
like against Texas,
He's
he
super
was
creative,
slinging
man.
it crazy. He was going.
He's just
like-
a magician. He reminds me of Russell Wilson a lot. He
Yeah.
really does. And Stroud's pinpoint, man. He is pinpoint
He's-
accurate.
Oh,
Stroud
I
to
love
me,
Stroud.
Okay, I know that prospect comparisons are never perfect at all, but to me, Bryce Young, Russell Wilson, C.J. Stroud, I see him as a higher ceiling Jared Goff. And
Higher ceiling Jared Goff.
hear me out. Like this current version of Jared Goff, who was a top 10 quarterback in the league this year. He was. You name me
Okay.
10 quarterbacks who played a better year than Jared Goff, I'll shut up.
Okay, not off the top of my head.
Right.
Okay, let me
'Cause
let's
there
see
aren't.
here. Okay. I would say Aaron Rodgers, even though it was a down year. I would say that.
Debatable.
I would say the easy ones: Patrick Mahomes, Josh
Mhm.
Allen,
Mhm.
Herbert,
Mhm.
Burrow.
Yep.
Trying to think.
Gets a little hard because he played pretty good.
I'm just trying to think.
Hurts.
Hurts. Oh yeah. Who are the other? I would say. Can I have a list? Is that fine?
Yeah.
I look up a list of quarterbacks here. Okay.
I'm not testing your memory. I'm
just trying to think.
I genuinely
List
just don't think
of-
there were 10 better quarterbacks than Jared Goff this year.
Okay.
I mean, Lamar was hurt half the year, so
Okay.
that helps. I know Brady had better stats.
I think Kirk Cousins had a better year.
I disagree.
I think he did. I think
I
that's
just
fair
disagree.
to say. Okay. So let's
Think
go.
about how about just I know this is just stats, so it doesn't mean everything. Kirk Cousins had 109 more yards than Jared Goff. They had equal touchdowns. Kirk threw 7 more interceptions.
Okay. What was the quarterback rating?
Kirk was at 92.5. Jared Goff 99.3.
Okay. You know what? Okay.
Here's how
fine.
I see it. Mahomes, Herbert, absolutely. Burrow for sure. Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts. I genuinely believe after those 5, it gets arguable with everybody. I think you can argue Brady and Goff. I think you can argue Cousins and Goff. I think Goff cleared Geno. I think Goff and Lawrence is close. Goff and Rodgers is close. Jared Goff was a top 10 quarterback this year, and he played very well. And I think that the accuracy he showed this year and how he played is what CJ Stroud can be, but Stroud, like even a little more. I'm not talking about past Jared Goff when he fell off after the Super Bowl year. I'm talking about this current Jared Goff. I think CJ Stroud can be an upgraded version of that, which is better than it sounds, I promise.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, on the topic of quarterbacks, a report ccame out, I think it was earlier today, that a lot of the QB needy teams are going to look to the draft over a Scotch tape veteran. So if you have a first round pick, you may be more likely to target a Richardson or a Levis as opposed to a bridge like Jimmy or like Derek Carr or something like that.
I think that's also interesting because the Raiders reportedly said that they're done trying for Aaron Rodgers, which
Raiders seem like a prime candidate to take a quarterback early.
Yeah, I think that's what it kind of alludes to. People are saying, "What are you doing?" Like, they thought it was a stupid idea, which I kind of, if I'm going to be honest, I don't think it's a good idea for them to stop pursuing Aaron Rodgers because they have Devontae Adams. They don't want Devontae Adams to get pissed. If you get a rookie that
You'd have to imagine
he doesn't agree with,
they heard something from Rodgers or the Packers that made them not.
Yeah, maybe.
Like the Packers are going to demand too much in a trade, or Rodgers won't commit long term, or something like that.
Probably.
I'd have to imagine they wouldn't just give up.
Just give up. Be like, all right,
because
we're going with the draft.
What did you watch the film and decide Rodgers isn't Rodgers? Like, I don't know.
I don't really know what's going on there, but
And then
we'll see.
Last quarterback news: Buccaneers supposedly are moving forward with Kyle Trask as the starter.
Oh no!
I can't imagine he's the day one starter.
There's no way.
Maybe they're a team that trades up for a quarterback. Who knows?
They're saying that, but then they're gonna obviously go for like Jimmy or something. I can definitely see them going for Jimmy.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
I don't see Derek going there, but I definitely do see Jimmy.
Derek Carr in Tampa wouldn't.
I just don't think
that wouldn't be terrible.
I just don't think he's going there.
Jimmy probably fits better though, with like getting the ball out quick like Brady did. I guess it didn't work all that well for them, but that's what they're doing.
There's no way they're going with Trask. There's no.
I kind of want to see it though.
There's no. That's a Todd Bowles move right there. That's a Todd Bowles move.
Trask, I don't know, man.
I
want to see him. I want to see him get a shot. He was nice at Florida. Dude. Obviously, that doesn't mean a whole lot, just because it's not college anymore. But I'd be curious to see how that goes.
Trask, you're gonna let him start, dude?
Why not give him a shot?
Oh,
why not give him a shot? They're gonna go into a rebuild soon.
They got Jared Stidham a shot, and he did all right in this first one, and then the second one he sucked.
He shredded us.
Yeah, and then the next day he sucked. So
yeah, worth a shot though. And then last NFL report we'll go over. A report came out that Bijan Robinson, of course the top running back in this class, is seen as a top 5 player around the league on draft boards, and that teams taking him in or near the top 10, quote, wouldn't get laughs. So obviously taking a first-round running back at all is kind of frowned upon right now, even towards the back end, especially in the front end, like the top 16. But Bijan is a generational prospect. We haven't seen a running back prospect as good as him since Saquon. That's for sure.
I was about to say Saquon.
And even that, I think Bijan might be a better
I
prospect.
really love Bijan Robinson.
He doesn't quite have the breakaway speed that Saquon the prospect had, but Bijan, his navigation and vision within, like when there's guys around him and like hitting the hole.
I also believe he's bigger than
crazy.
I also believe he's bigger than Saquon too.
I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, Bijan is one of the best all-around backs
He's also super durable.
Excellent pass-catching back, too. And his flexibility is ridiculous.
Yeah.
There was this play
where he flapped. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, he got upended, lands like on his chest. His feet come over and like touch the ground, gets up and carries the ball next play.
And then he had the one where
his
head was touching his butt.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah,
that was... Dude, it's crazy.
Bijan,
after that point, after I saw that video, he's been my favorite running back.
If you haven't watched Bijan's film, I would highly recommend.
You have to.
Like, you will never see as many incredible like 6-yard runs from anyone as you do with Bijan. Like, he turns less than nothing into something all the time. I don't see
Yeah.
a universe where he's not an excellent running back.
I think, obviously, I think it's kind of weird to draft quarter or running backs like
Yeah.
early because of the like nature of it. I think that, especially with like the durability of them or like the
Yeah.
longevity, but I think
But especially if
think
you're a
this is a
good
good
team,
pick.
if you're a
I think
good
it's a good
team,
pick if
it
you're
makes sense.
yeah. If it's a bad team, then it's
A team
it's a
I'm
bad pick.
looking at is Philly. Because
Philly,
Philly's a very good
dude,
very good team.
Philly.
They are almost certainly going to lose Miles Sanders. They're
Yeah.
probably going to lose, I think, Gainwell. I want to say it's either Gainwell or Scott, or maybe both. So they're going to need a running back. They're a great
Mhm.
team. It kind of makes sense. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Dude,
yeah.
that'd be crazy. He fits that team too. Like he's a big running back with
And
AJ
he's just
Brown,
a great player.
with
yeah.
Jalen Hurt. Dude, that'd be crazy.
I saw something on, I think it was TikTok the other day. Someone put it this way when talking about first round running backs. They said, if Barry Sanders was in the draft this year, where would he go? Knowing his career, he'd have to go 1, right?
Yeah.
So if you think a guy is that type of player, and you're a good team, why not take a swing? Obviously, it's not a perfect comparison. It's not perfect logic. But the idea of a good team taking a swing on a position of need, it makes sense to me. Like, what you say, most running backs last 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
A first round
I
running.
mean, I would take a definite risk. I mean, I
you
love
should feel
running back.
confident in a first round running back for 4 or 5 years. Can you really predict what your team will look like 6 years from now? Not really. So I think it's worth it. I think that a player like this is
Well,
worth
it's
it.
also like we've seen running backs outlast that. Like we've seen Aaron Jones has been for quite a while.
Yeah.
We've seen.
I would expect that Bijan probably gets more of a consistent workload.
Yeah,
But
it's. I really love Bijan, and I mean we've seen Saquon. Saquon's been pretty good with the Giants this year. He had questions coming into this year about his like actual, like his ability, but I think he shut them up.
he's
this
still
year.
an excellent running back.
Yeah.
I'm not ready to say he is what he was early on,
Mm-hmm.
but he's still a great running back.
Yeah.
Now, are the Giants going to pay him?
Mm-hmm.
Because if you look at like the numbers in production and contracts, it is like a 99% success rate or fail rate when you pay a running back. When you draft a running back, he plays out his rookie deal, and then you pay him, it almost never works out. Almost never. So,
I mean, you paid Aaron Jones, so
right, but
I think it's it does get a little bit rough, but I would pick him if you're a good team. If you're needing something else,
Philly,
and
man.
if
dude,
if you draft best player overall, and you get to that point, maybe. But like, I think if you need a receiver or something, but could do with a running back, you don't take him. I think if
I think it depends who's on the board.
yeah, it's rough.
The domino effect in the draft is crazy.
It'll be hard to
'cause,
see.
Like,
Yeah.
Bijan is a
Well,
great.
Saquon went
He went second.
second. Yeah.
Like Bijan's a great fit for Philly, I think. So he could go
Oh.
at 10. If he doesn't go at 10, there's a lot of teams that probably won't take him before he hits the back half of the first round. So
Yeah.
the domino effect is
You got to
crazy.
think that there's
He could
some
go
team
10.
that's going to go best
He
overall.
could go 30.
Yeah.
Who knows? Dude, imagine the Chiefs get him.
Mm,
Imagine he falls to the Chiefs.
wow.
I don't think there's any way he goes past Buffalo.
With Pacheco too.
Dude, Pacheco's nice.
Dude,
I'm
him
a big
and
fan.
Bijan. Dude,
That would be unfair.
that'd be rough.
Chiefs got to go receiver, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Don't let Zay Flowers get to the Chiefs. Please. Don't let it happen. Oh, that's a nightmare. All right.
But
yeah, that's all for
Yeah.
NFL. So.
Oh yeah.
Hockey again.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
And I'm down by.
It's 4-2.
Oh, wow. Okay. Got baseball. you
1.
Okay. What team was playing the San Francisco Giants when an earthquake disrupted the World Series in 1989? The Oakland A's, the Atlanta Braves, the St. Louis Cardinals, or the Dodgers?
Okay, it's not the Dodgers. It's not the A's. Who are the other two?
Cardinals and Braves.
Braves.
The A's.
It was the A's?
Yeah. You cut them off, and I'm like, for one
I think
point.
I've been asked that before.
Okay, well, I got to
like
go
last
3.
year, and I still was wrong.
Yeah, maybe.
All right. Hockey.
Oh, we had this card before, so yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I still got it
Hockey 3.
wrong. Wow.
Oh, no.
Wow.
Okay, we're going for a guess here.
Dave Ritchie scored the first official NHL goal in 1917.
I knew that.
Who did he play for? The Toronto Arenas, the Montreal Wanderers, the Boston Bruins, or the Ottawa Senators?
The Boston Bruins.
The Montreal
Damn it!
Wanderers.
No. Ugh.
All right.
Wow.
College basketball. Not a ton to talk about, I guess, but there's some notable changes in the top 25. Marquette up to 6. Kind of not out of nowhere. They've been steadily going up. Just not the season I thought Marquette would have. Virginia drops to 13. They are the biggest faller of any team in the top 25. Gonzaga back into the top 10 after a start to the year that had many thinking they were frauds. I am many. San Diego State, in our Mountain West news, is up to 18, which good news for the conference, bad news because we don't like them.
Yep.
And then Boise State got 3 points. So for
losing to San Jose State.
For comparison's sake, the first place teams are at like 1,400 points. We have 3.
Yeah.
The 25th place team is at, I want to say, like 160. So not close. Probably won't be ranked at any point this year, but it is what it is. And yeah, the last piece of college basketball is conference tournaments starting as soon as tomorrow. There's no way I get this right, but I want to say it's the Patriot League that starts tomorrow. And they all start within the next 2 weeks. And then, of course, after that, there's a few days till Selection Sunday. And then it's tournament time. But this, I live for conference tournament week. It's great.
Yeah, we'll have to
I
see.
don't think we really need... are we still doing cards or not?
Yeah, I think I've lost.
Right.
I mean, I wanted to go into combat sports
Okay,
because
we'll
I
do that
really
first.
wanted to talk about this.
Go ahead.
Jake Paul. So he's. I mean, if you haven't been following, have you been following up on that whole thing?
On what?
Jake Paul and his boxing thing, where
Yeah.
he's been
I-
fighting people.
I'm going to get hate for this.
Okay,
I don't dislike Jake Paul.
I respect him because he's making moves to stay relevant.
He is smart, business-wise. He has awesome tattoos, which is always makes me like someone. And he's like living my dream, bro. He's a famous tatted boxer who makes music sometimes, who makes YouTube videos. Like, yeah, I can't hate on him because I want to be that.
Yeah, I think.
He's obviously annoying sometimes, but
I mean, I feel
what it
like him and KSI and Logan Paul are kind of pretty similar in their own aspect.
yeah.
Where they've acquired power to where they could kind of do whatever they want at this point.
Yeah, they're just
Like Logan Paul has a podcast, like that's something
and
I would want
it's
to do.
one of the most popular podcasts like in the world. Like,
Yeah.
it's huge.
And then KSI and Logan Paul are making like energy drinks. Those are actually kind of good. Have you tried those?
I actually like the blue one is very good.
Dude, I love the energy drinks. The
The-
lemon lime.
I haven't had that one. The red one, the fruit punch, not very good.
Yeah. I tried the actual energy drinks. I thought they were mid. I thought they just tasted like less sugary Gatorade.
Yeah.
But then
The
the
Blue
energy
Prime,
drinks,
though.
dude, the energy drinks are
The blue prime is nice.
Oh,
I'm not
man.
gonna lie. Yeah,
But-
they're making moves. I mean, KSI to this day, the Sidemen videos pull millions and millions every week.
Yeah.
So
gotta
gotta respect them.
Jake Paul, he kind of had a thing where they were like, oh, he's not fighting actual boxers and everything like that. And I think for the most part, it was, I mean, yeah, fair. He fought Nate Robinson.
Yeah.
But he was also a nobody too.
Right.
So like,
That's the thing people tend to forget is that he's not fighting these guys who are elite
yeah,
boxers.
but they weren't gonna fight him.
These are his
you know, work to it.
well, and these are his first. Like he hasn't even hit 10 fights yet. He can't be
Yeah.
expected to be fighting like these guys.
Yeah, you
Like,
can't.
I don't know. man.
He's not gonna be fighting like Wilder or something. Like,
Right. Yeah.
and if he did fight Wilder at this point, he'd lose.
He'd die.
Like he'd be
He would
obliterated.
die.
But I think
He weighed in at like 183 for this fight. If he fought Deontay Wilder, he
Dude.
would have permanent brain damage.
yeah. Dude, Wilder and Fury was crazy, but
Fury's so good.
either one.
Tyson is so good. But yeah, Jake Paul lost this fight by split decision to Tyson Fury's brother, to Tommy Fury. Jake Paul has a rematch clause, and I would expect him to exercise that, and I would expect Fury to accept.
There was only one knockdown, I believe, and it was
kind of a Mickey Mouse knockdown.
Jake. Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. I was rooting for Jake, but he lost.
Okay, it seemed like I don't disagree that I think Jake Paul should have lost. But the knockdown, it looked like it caught him off balance. It doesn't look like he slipped. By the point,
I don't think it was a knockdown. It just wasn't a super powerful or convincing.
It wasn't like he got knocked like down.
Right.
Like it was more just like he caught him off guard with the punch and his footing wasn't right and he just whoa.
Yeah, it was just good timing.
Like
honestly.
If you're not in a right like standing position, you can knock down pretty easily.
Right.
And he just wasn't in a good standing position. And I think that's what kind of held it. But he went right up. Like he pulled the Rocky where Rocky gets absolutely obliterated and just goes right up like no. But
yeah, we'll see what happens with that. I would expect them to rematch.
There's also talks like about Jake Paul and KSI, but I mean,
I would love to see that.
Yeah, I want to see that. Okay, I'm so nervous because I mean, okay, I respect Jake Paul, but I'm not like an avid fan. I really like KSI. Like I like them both. But
if
they fight,
I grew up watching KSI vids, man.
I'd want to see KSI win. Like if they do
probably.
But it's nervous because like you know, I mean KSI he fought he's been fighting like
Logan.
He fought like low level people as of like recently, and he's won by TKOs, so he's kind of like slowly building him up. But he's not I mean, it's kind of like the same competition that Jake is fighting right now.
Yeah, I'm far from a boxing expert. I'm barely a casual. From what I've seen, if Jake and KSI were to fight tomorrow, I would take Jake. Just who I think would win, but who knows? I definitely want to make sure to get this in there. John Jones fights this week. John Jones, the greatest fighter of all time to some. Again, total casual, but I would be part of that some. John Jones fights Cyril Gane.
Yeah, I think so.
No way that's right. Cyril Gane on Saturday the 4th in Las Vegas, and I am so excited. Watching John Jones fight is so fun. No matter if you're a fan of the sport or not, he just...
It's crazy.
The way he kicks people, it's just beautiful.
Yep.
We were going to run through some NHL, but we don't really have time. Just know the Avs are healthy and they're hot. So they're going back to back.
I forgot that you're an Avalanche fan.
I am. Yeah, that's all the time we got today. On behalf of Adam and I, we want to thank you for listening to Sports and Stuff. Make sure to follow our socials at Sports and Stuff Show, except Twitter at SNS_show. Make sure to catch our episodes Wednesdays and Fridays from 3 to 4 p.m. And you can listen to listen on any platform after that. Thank you again, and we'll see you in the next one.
Peace.
At the buzzer.